Hey, everybody. It is Lanissa and Kate, and we are coming at you with another episode of What's Hot and What's Not for physician liaisons and business development teams. And today we are talking about being on brand. What's hot is being on brand, also known as being authentic or being yourself. I don't know about you, Kate, but when I went through training, I learned a whole lot of stuff about this is the way that it should be done. And especially
Right.
when it comes to closing the sale or asking for the business. And I was taught all of those years ago, very specifically, you go in and on the very first call, on the very first time you meet a customer, you ask, will you use my product for your next 10 patients or something to that effect?
I
And
know. It's always such an arbitrary number, like 10 patients, 5 patients,
yeah,
you
it could have been three, it could have been five, could have been 10, but whatever.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
some sort of, very, very, hard close. And,
Right.
um, for me, that felt very awkward and uncomfortable. Not that I'm uncomfortable asking people to partner with me, especially if I have a great product, but to just go in the very first time I meet someone and say, hey, send me three more patients when I feel like I haven't earned that. It felt very disingenuous. It felt very inauthentic to me and who I was and what I was.
Not Lanissa. Like that's just not you.
Yeah. And so, especially it's interesting now, like looking back and like, I don't know if you've read Bob Berg's book, Endless Referrals, but it talks about the know, like, and trust factor. And that's something now that we all in sales, if you've been in sales for a while, you understand or you've heard those buzzwords of know, like, and trust. And you have to give people like time and opportunity and ways for people to know, like, and trust you. And so now to me, it makes perfect sense why that felt inauthentic, but I still had a job to do, right? And I still had
Right.
work to do and quotas to meet and those kinds of things. So I had to find a way to accomplish the same goal. I still had to close the sale, but I had to find a way to say those words or do that in a way that was more authentic to me. And so I guess that is what I would encourage all of you to do is to be authentic, be yourself, find ways to meet with your customers truly as yourself, because that is
Mhm.
the way that you're going to be the most effective and that you're going to feel the best about your job and what you do is when you show up every day as yourself. And Kate, I know that you have a great story about this as well that we'd love to hear.
Yeah. I mean, when I was new to sales, I I attended a meeting with like the partners, and they had already set it up, and it was a meeting with one of the schools in the area, and I was just blown away because before the meeting, we're like talking, planning who's going to say what, and the teammates that had known each other for a while were catching up on stuff. And when one of the counterparts got up there to speak and do the part of presenting, I was just like, that is the exact same person I was just talking to. And I think you can get used to somebody flipping a switch and all of a sudden becoming like the professional robot, right? And it really did give me permission to go, okay, so I can just be me. All right. And I mean, he might have had a little more polish for presenting, but he was still himself. And every office that I went to, I mean, he'd been in the area for a very long time. They all knew him. They all knew exactly who he was, how he operated, and good or bad, they accepted that because at least it was him. Like they were never surprised or anything. It was just exactly um, who he was, and he showed up as that person. And I think that it builds trust faster. It brings out the authenticity of your clients. Like if you're your authentic self and you're putting yourself out there for them, it's more likely that they're going to put their authentic self out there for you, and you guys can connect on a deeper level than, hey, send me your next 10 patients, right? And those things are very necessary. We need to close the business, like you said, but what a relief to be able to do it with the fundamentals you learned in training, but do it in your own way and put your own personal brand on it, because that's who you are and that's who you have to show up as every day, is your own personal brand with the job that you need to do, the job you're hired to do, but in your way. And it's comforting actually, and it makes everything seem less like stressful if you just show up as yourself. So I don't think we can teach people to be themselves, but just we're here to say it's okay to be you, because that's
Yes.
what's really cool.
And that's a great thing about it is while you're learning all of these new skills, that's the one thing you don't have to learn is how to be yourself. Like,
Right.
you already know
Yeah.
that. So that's
Yeah.
the easy part while you're building all of these other new skills. So that is what's hot is be authentic, be authentically you. What's not hot is being a phony. Nobody likes a phony. They can all smell a phony, spot a phony from a mile away. And we've all had experiences with this. But Kate, tell me about your professional experience with one of your counterparts who was not always genuine.
Yeah, we had a phony join the group, and it was hard. It was hard on a team bonding level, and it was also hard to work with, like, professionally as well, because this person, I think they felt like they needed to know everything from the very beginning, and they tried, I don't say that it did come off sincerely, but they tried to give off this air of they had the secret sauce to sales. They were just like, the best ever. And it was just hard to know that person. I honestly can't say I worked with that person for over 2 years. And I honestly can't say that I was able to know anything about that person. And I mean, people have their reasons for being guarded and being, buttoned up a little bit. But it was also very hard for doctors to work with him, and it was hard for them to connect with him. And it was hard for them to be excited about seeing him. So, which I think you don't want to fill anybody with dread when the receptionist says, "Oh, so and so's here." And yeah, I mean, I wish we could have gotten to know a little bit more about him and just pull out some details, because the suit can't be who you are. Like, that just can't be all of it. There's no way. We're all humans. And so to connect on a human level is so much better than to just be that phony level. And it's so easy to say no to a phony too, isn't it? Like, think of yourself walking through the mall and those people that just like come out from the kiosk and they're like, "Lovely woman, would you like to try this sample today?" And you're like, "First of all, my hair's in a messy bun, so don't even come at me with that," right? It's easy to be like, meh, right? But when somebody connects with you on a human level and then they recommend something to you, you're like, okay, I might try into that because you're a person, I'm a person, we've connected, I value your opinion all of a sudden. So yeah, no one likes a phony. It's easy to say no to a phony. Just let a little bit of yourself out. Add a little polish if you need to, but don't be fake.
Yeah, right. Sometimes we all need a little polish,
Right.
but definitely being authentic and being in a position to build that know, like, and trust with your customers. That is
Absolutely.
what's hot today. And if you want to learn more, you can find us on lb.solutions. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.